Hello, we're with the Philadelphia Fusion, who just clinched a spot in the grand finals after beating Nixol 2-0. We're going to take some questions from the press pool and Twitch. Who'd like to go first?
Hello, this question can be for anyone. Throughout the past few stages especially, you guys have been really honest and forthcoming about the fact that your mentality kind of fluctuates and you're a very emotional team. How did you guys keep mentally stable in today's match?
Going into today's match, I don't think any of us felt like we have something to lose. After all, everyone is going against us as if New York is going to win all the time. And we came into a mentality that we just need to focus on what's our role as a team and what every player needs to do inside the game. And that helped us a lot.
Next question.
Hi, my name's Nick. I'm from Inven. So what in specific do you think went well today? And this is kind of an open question to anyone if they would like to kind of chime in about what was the moment you guys really felt you hit your stride and you knew you were going to win.
어떤 부분에서 이길 거라고 느꼈는지. 어떤 부분에서? 그러니까 어떤 포인트에서. 그러니까 그러니까 게임 하면서 어떤 상황에서 우리가 이기겠다 이 느낌.
버즈를 보고 있을 때 뭐를? 그 말. 마지막에 뉴욕이 탱커 조합 꺼내 왔는데 그거 보자마자 이겼다고 생각했어요. 그 순간 이겼다고 확신했어요.
When on Dorado, the last point, when New York is changing their comp to the tank comp, he had the feeling too we're gonna win.
Hi, this is Emerald with Blizzard. So both series in the first round went the distance, but the semifinals were pretty one-sided in favor of the teams that didn't have that extra week. So how much of a difference did the extra experience make in terms of finding the comfort level on stage and in the meta?
Nothing. Everyone thinks that playing first is an advantage, but we get to show our comps and they get to study us. Well, we don't know anything about New York. The only reason we won today is because we played better. It's not because we played before. And I want everyone to understand that.
Yeah, I think to add to that, the season was a test of consistency, whereas the playoff is a test of who can show up on that day and play the best. The two teams who are in the playoffs are teams with very, very high talent, us and London. And even though NYXL and Valiant were like the best teams overall throughout the season, that's not, what the playoffs were about.
We have a question from Twitch. MCIS on Twitch asks, congrats on the semifinals win. If you guys win the finals, what are you going to do after it?
I mean, we'll decide then. So for now, we're not thinking about what we're going to do, but mostly how we're going to win.
Next question.
Congratulations on the big win. So you guys are playing London in the grand finals. What is the key to shutting them down, do you think?
런던을 이길 수 있는 키.
그냥 하던 대로 하면 그냥 이길 것 같은 느낌이에요.
We just play what we played, then we're gonna win. That's it.
Hi, it's Nick again from Inven. After you guys won, there's a lot of emotion on stage, and I guess I want to ask, was it more a relief and joy, or was it more of what Ikuro said about kind of proving people wrong, and that you guys were the ones who were going to win and not really the favorites that everyone else thought New York was? Kind of, I'm talking through what you were feeling after you won.
Not necessarily after we won, but what I was feeling on stage was pretty much just like happiness. I think this was like the most happy I've ever been playing Overwatch. Even when we lost, I felt happy, and I don't know if I can speak for my teammates in this case, but I don't know. we didn't feel that much like after we won, mostly relief. I think most of our feelings came inside the game and outside the game, because that's where we come from. We're gamers, and I think that's the best way to put it.
Hey guys, Adam from Action Esports. So today, you guys pretty decisively beat New York on a couple of maps that are preferred picks for them, but then you struggled more on some maps that maybe weren't as preferred. Why do you think that was? And did you guys prepare specifically for certain maps that you knew New York was strong on?
Can I answer?
Yeah, go
I think like this meta favors us because of our playstyle, and we have like we can switch heroes faster than they do, or like multiple comps without switching our DPSs. So I felt like we were stronger in most of the maps today, even on Lijiang. I think Lijiang was like we made so many mistakes, so I think like we were the favorites in maps, but we had to play our game, and that's what happened.
Yeah, to add to that, like a lot of the statistics on the maps are based on like different stages, different metas. So like, of course, the analysts were looking at that, but I don't think it's necessarily like too relevant when it comes to like a different meta.
I also think they played some weird comps on, for example, Kings Row, and we always know what comp to play against what they have. So we were always trying to be the one switching anything they do. We always do something that can counter them. So that was our game plan, I guess.
We have another question from Twitch. Nick_OneLove707 says, "Congratulations! What emotions were running through your head when you took the win?"
이기고 나서 무슨 느낌?
Same question again.
니에게
이기고 나서요? 이기고 나서 든 생각은 우리 뉴욕하구나 딱 이 생각 들었어요.
It's trolling.
Like after we won, he just felt like, oh, we are going to New York.
Hey, what's up, guys? Josh from Blitz Esports. Question for EQO. I know you're one of the more vocal leaders on the team in terms of in-game comms, keeping the comms going. Given how high pressure of a match this was, did you notice the team comms changing in any sort of way? Did you approach it from a different mentality, or was it kind of like same old business?
I think we remained calm till not till the very end. Obviously, the last fight we had was kind of hectic, but we made sure to remain calm throughout the whole series. And it didn't affect me at all, the pressure, and I don't think it affected people here. So,
Chris from USA Today. You guys talked about how the regular season rewards consistency and the playoffs are here and now, who's better right now. A lot of the other teams have lamented about the format. Are you guys absolutely cool with the current format, or do you want to see something change?
There's
플레이오프가 이 다음 시즌에 뭔가 좀 정규 시즌 때 좀 시스템이 바뀌었으면 하는 게 있나?
Can I answer first? I think I think it's excuses. Like the format is the same for everyone. I think like it's okay. Like I don't know. I think it's just the meta. I think the better teams on this meta won. That's what happened. Like on the screens, London was playing really strong compared to other stages, so it was kind of obvious for us that they were gonna win.
So do you feel like it's okay that the meta changed right before playoffs started?
Well, it's not right.
It's not up to us.
We all had the same amount of time to prepare, right? They had even more time before their first game where they could have implemented new stuff. So I don't necessarily see that as valid. As for like different formats, and obviously based on the amount of teams, then the league can decide what they want to do. But the reality was the season was 40 games across 4 stages, and then playoffs. It's go time. It's 1-on-1. Doesn't matter the seeding.
This one's for Neptuno. So your Mercy play kind of banks on going for those aggressive like reses or battle Mercy moments, even in a meta where you're sometimes the only healer. So strategically speaking, how much does the team value getting a res off versus the Mercy staying alive or that sort of thing?
I think there is no value from dying. If I die, I made a mistake. I think like sometimes I try to tell my teammates. I don't do it sometimes, but I try to tell them I'm going for the race, or like keep pressuring so I can race, or like I don't know. It's just like so many risky plays that I take. I think okay, if I don't take this risk, we're not gonna win this fight, so I just do it. So it's basically instinct. I don't think about it. It just happens. But I try to maximize the value from my heroes, so that's why sometimes I use my pistol. Sometimes I shouldn't use it, but with solo healer, I think I can't use it that much. So I just damage boost everyone because everyone is DPS.
We have another question from Twitch. Wheeze Noise asks, There's lots of good Italian food and bakeries in New York. What foods in New York are you most excited to try? Real New York style pizza? Cannolis? There's also a really good cupcake place called Magnolia Bakery.
알아들었지? 뉴욕에서 무슨 음식 먹어보고 싶어?
I don't think that was necessarily on like our priority list, but we'll see, I guess.
We'll make sure to try all of them.
This is Nick again. How do you guys feel about the overall culture of predicting teams, who's going to win, and kind of this sense of one team being heavily favored? Do you think so far Overwatch has proven to be a game where any of those predictions have any merit, or do you really think it's every team has a chance every game, I guess?
I don't think every team has a chance every game. And if you're talking about the playoffs predictions, how people predicted New York to win us, I feel like that was just like predicted over, the inaugural season. People didn't take into account the change of meta, our past games, and didn't we obviously, proved that we won them, but I think it was mostly biased and not actual, reading, what's the situation. And I think that's my answer about predictions.
It's really hard to make predictions when people don't have information about how our screens going, what is people playing, who is doing good in scrims. Like people don't know that because nobody is gonna leak that, so it's really hard. So I think it was fair that people favored New York. I think they were the favorites, but I think we were stronger. So that was good for us because we didn't have much pressure.
Yeah. And like throughout the seasons, there could be weeks where you have back-to-backs. There could be weeks where you have a similar map pool in both matches, so that helps a lot for preparation. You have weeks where you have 8 maps to prepare for, completely different maps. So there's a lot of just volatility there that wasn't necessarily taken into account, and people were maybe just looking at like the results of those matches.
We have time for one final question, and we will take it from Twitch.
Twubble asks, who would you say is the most formidable player of your opposition in the upcoming grand finals?
What? Most formidable?
From London?
Yeah, the best player.
런던에서 제일 위험한 선수.
I don't think it's fair to call any of them, the most formidable. I think they're all, very formidable. And obviously it's going to be a tough match, but I think we're going to win.
Thank you, Philadelphia Fusion. We'll see you next week in New York.